Let's make it a good day.
Coming up today, there is a reality show for everyone and everything. But wait until you hear about Rebel Wilson's new show. Let's just say the fur will be flying. Then we will answer the question, is Dax Holt too big for us now that he's in business with Mark Cuban? We'll find out. And meet the woman who gave up her normal-sized house to live the tiny house life. Did she regret her big decision? Here we go.
Let's make it a good day. We do it our own way. Let's make it a good day. Oh, no matter what they say. Oh, yeah.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome. We are live from our studios in the Twin Cities. I'm Jace. Welcome to the show. Please welcome my sidekick sister from another mister, the one and only Kendall Mark, everybody. Good morning.
Hello.
How you doing, lovely?
Good. How are you today?
I'm doing really well.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm doing really well.
That's good.
Yeah.
Fresh snow, give you a fresh boost.
No, I hate that. But
Oh.
I had a good night. I had a little little Han Solo night. So the dogs and I, we just watched, 8 hours of Knots Landing. And that's all I need.
You're not joking, are you?
No.
Okay.
No, I watched
Just
season
checking.
8 of Knots Landing, and when I say I watched season 8,
The whole thing.
I think I watched probably all 28 episodes. That is the thing. You forget that network shows used to have 28, 29 episodes a season.
Yeah.
And now the usual for cable and streaming is 10, like that sex show,
Such
Bridgerton.
a rip-off.
You know, it's
that
like
was
8. Yeah, I still have to go back and watch Bridgerton, but yeah.
Jace,
I got to watch it when, I got to
when
make
you're
sure.
ready.
Got to make sure my kids aren't around and
Yeah.
just
Put the dogs away.
the kids I don't have. Yeah. Anyway, but before I watched Knots Landing, I took my mom. My mom has storage units because she moved here from Louisiana, hasn't found a townhouse yet. Getting the process going though. So she has storage units. So I took her. She wanted some things out of the unit. So I said, well, I'll take you, Mom. So we did a little field trip, little mother-son field trip to the storage unit. Well, when we arrived, there is an amount of snow in front of the door. About this, when the plow comes through the driveway of the storage unit place, it kicks the snow. So there's about this much snow in front of my mom's garage door of the unit. So I have a Ziploc bag of my mom's storage room keys. There are 4 sets, okay? And if lock keys are about that big. They're flimsy, they're teeny tiny. So we're making good time. We find what we need to in her storage unit. And I'm like, oh, good. I'm going to be home. I will be napping by 1:30, So we close the door. My mom's in the car, and I count the keys. I'm like, I just want to make sure I have everything. 3 keys. I'm down to 3 sets. I'm like, holy crap. I must have dropped one of the keys
4.
in the snow. So here we are on our hands and knees like gold miners in the 20s, sifting through snow, trying to find these itty-bitty little keys. My mother, who has no business being on her hands and knees, in snow, we're both kind of digging through the snow like little puppies. And finally, the universe was with us. We found it in about 5 minutes. But I felt like a gold rusher. I was like looking for gold, panning for gold, and finally found it. But
Did your fingers hurt?
yeah, and I have bad circulation. Not that you need to know this, but Jason has bad. I don't know what it is. If there's a doctor, I know. Jeff's going, what am I, 90?
It's called Raynaud's syndrome. It's a thing.
How the hell what do you,
I have
Trapper
it.
John
My
MD?
sister has it. I have it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a circulation issue. It affects a lot of Scandinavian people.
Oh, I am not Scandinavian, but
Oh, well, maybe.
I'm gay and Polish.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm 97% gay. I'm 20% Polish. I'm a little German.
Oh.
Oh, I just found out. 99% gay, 20% Polish. I don't know what the rest I am. I'm a mutt. But, but really, is that true? Is that what it's called?
There is a syndrome that you can have where if your appendages get like purple or they get red and flaky when it's really cold.
Yeah,
look it up.
Okay, there's a doctor in the house. Can you email me? Is there a medication I can take or something? I just, the top of my fingers turn white sometimes, and I don't like being cold.
See, and they get really wrinkly?
Yeah, Yeah, but that's what Botox is for. Yeah, anyway.
Your fingertips?
I know, WebMD over there. We should just have a new segment. Ask Kendall medical questions. It's time for the hot dish, everybody. Let's get going. Roll it, Steve. Leo's out today. I would move the stick a little bit more, but my fingers, bad circulation.
Bad circulation.
First up, Armie Hammer's coming under fire after some wild, naughty text messages attributed to him leaked to Page 6. And it's forcing him to step away from an upcoming film. That's how bad the rumors are. Armie announced he will exit before production gets underway for the movie. It's called Shotgun Wedding. The movie has Jennifer Lopez in it, and production is set. They're going to shoot it in the Dominican Republic. Well, that's beautiful, but Armie says he can't leave his kids for 4 months after the text messages were revealed. He's like, it's such a big scandal. I can't leave my kids. Now, in those texts, he allegedly, and again, I say allegedly because we don't want to be sued. He allegedly talks about some of his fantasies, which include, among other things, cannibalism. If you have a drinking game going of what words you think you're going to hear on the Jason Show, please drink if you had cannibalism on your list. There we go.
Bingo!
He says, under the I, 16. Armie says this is all BS. It's false. It's wrong. But here's the deal. Here's the dealio, Felios. I haven't said that in a while. Sometimes where there's smoke, there's fire. Okay? And the truth of the matter is, there have been rumors, little smoke signals, for years that Armie Hammer, and there's nothing wrong with this, whatever floats your boat, rows your canoe, whatever you do in your bedroom, I don't care. But there have been rumors that he's a little wild in the boudoir. But whatever clanks your chain, and if you use chains, that's great. I don't care. But there have been rumors about him for years. So maybe these are true. If he likes to drink blood, I don't care. Why do I care? Well, I do kind of care, actually. I mean, that one, okay. Do what you want.
Angelina Jolie.
Yeah. He's not hurting anybody.
Yeah, whatever tickles your feathers.
Yeah. I'm not going to shame him. I applaud. Be open with how wild you are. It doesn't affect my life. That's why don't judge me. I'm not going to judge you with that.
And I know that we both know this, and people at home too watching. It's like, as long as it's consensual.
Yeah. What did Kendall say? What was it during the meeting that I went, what? You were so flippant about, I said, what did you tell?
That he wrote.
What?
Well, I was just saying, we love Edgar Allan Poe and all those really crazy poets who would write creepy things about sticking toes in their back pocket. We thought nothing of it. So maybe he's just Edgar Allan Poe.
Bottom line, in our meeting when we were discussing the show, Kendall's like, I don't know what the big deal is. If he drinks blood, if he wants to have sex on a goat, who cares? And we're like, okay, sure.
As long as the goat's okay with it,
exactly.
Whatever.
Next in the dish, Paula Abdul was on with Andy Cohen last night, and she talked about, American Idol. Look at this.
What was your reaction when American Idol replaced you with Ellen DeGeneres after you left? And what did you think of her judging skills?
Meow. Well, first of all, I was ready to leave, so I had already made peace with that. And I thought Ellen would be great. I really did. She came, her perspective was as just a fan, a regular person in the audience watching, and I thought she did a good job.
Can you name one of the American Idol winners from the ABC reboot?
Can you name one of the winners from the ABC reboot?
Ooh. I can't. I'm sorry.
No! Nobody can!
I can't.
Well, it sounded like a little rascal. Mwah! Nobody
Ralphie.
can! Oh, shnikes! Anyway, nobody can. Lane, that one kid. Lane, he was from Louisiana. He won the ABC reboot of American Idol. Can you name another one?
I
No.
couldn't name Lane.
Yeah, I just know. That's the only kid I know. Anyway, Paula served on Idol for 8 seasons. I love her. My mom is watching. She knows this. Little fun fact. Paula Abdul holds a special place in my heart. She was my very first CD, and she was one of my first concerts. Yeah.
I knew that too. It's a fun Jason Show fact.
Yeah.
You just looked this up. She's 58.
That's-
Goodness.
That woman is 58 years old. Can you believe that, audience? She's
I can't believe
58.
it. And she's so sweet. She answered that question and other questions in such a Paula Abdul way, which is just kind of like, I'm just nice to everyone, and I love you, and I'm sorry I didn't know.
Okay, now that I've been nice to her, can I not throw shade, but can I tell you a funny Paula Abdul story?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
American Idol was in the Twin Cities looking for contestants back in the day when I covered entertainment for Fox 9. I've done, this was like, what year would have this been? 03, 04, Jeff, something like that? It doesn't matter what year. Anyway, so I went to the convention center, and the judges were here. They send the judges after they whittle down. And I saw Paula Abdul staring at a water fountain for about 6 minutes.
Staring at like a normal bubbler, like
Just
a silver water fountain.
A bubbler. What is this? London?
That's what they call it in London.
That's right. Oh, see, that's why. I knew that. Anyway, she was just staring at the water fountain, not moving, not talking.
Just like a basic silver, like
Basic silver water fountain. I watched her for upwards of 5 to 6 minutes, doing nothing. I mean, maybe she was communicating with it. I don't know. Maybe she saw something in it. I don't know. Maybe she saw images in the water. But yeah, it was a little Nutter Butters.
Was she pushing like the water out?
No, Kendall, she literally was just like this.
Do you think she fell asleep standing? Because that's a goal of mine, to learn how to fall asleep standing.
I want to learn how to be a better photographer. Kendall wants to learn how to sleep standing up. Hey, we all have it. No, I don't think she was sleeping. I think she was with us. I don't know. But I still love her. She's forever my girl. We have a lot more to come, everybody. Go get another cup of coffee. Senka. We'll be back right after this. Stay with us. She's forever my girl. More hot dishes heading your way. Next, fresh from the tank, Dax Holt will join us live with details on his new interview with our buddy Ross Matthews. Is Ross a permanent part of Drew Barrymore's show now? Then, could you live the tiny house life? One woman did, and she's telling us how she did it and whether she would do it all over again. And January is the perfect time to refresh your closet. Easy tips to get you started. That's all coming up when The Jason Show continues.
Is it fun to play a judge, by the way? Because judge seems like a fun actor thing to play.
It's funny you should mention that. I was down in New Orleans where we shot the show, and about 2 weeks before we actually started shooting, I did some research at the courthouse there, and you see very different kinds of personality. I was down there once and I saw a doctor who was giving expert testimony on murder and what he thought was a murder weapon and such. And this is intense, emotional, life-changing information that he was dispensing. And yet he was standing there going, there's a possibility that a blunt force could have caused the trauma to the victim, but it's unsure how many times. And I stood up in the courtroom and I said, okay, I get it. Let's take it back and just give it a little more oomph, give it some energy.
Some energy. Bryan Cranston with Kimmel last night. As you heard him say, he plays a judge in a new Showtime show called Your Honor. You know, the thing about Bryan Cranston is this. A lot of actors, when they become known for a particular role, they get handicapped by that role, and people, the public can't see beyond that one. Bravo to Bryan Cranston, because yes, he obviously everyone thinks of Breaking Bad, but he's such a chameleon. He's not limited to that. He's done Malcolm in the Middle before that. He's done theater. He's just an actor's actor. You only can do that if you're an actor's actor.
Right.
Yeah.
I associate his name more with Breaking Bad than his face and his acting, which sounds odd.
No, I get it.
But when you think of it that way, it makes sense.
Him as LBJ, amazing. Our hot dish continues with our insider to the stars. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back the co-host of the Hollywood Raw podcast and super rich friend of ours, the new business partner with Mark Cuban, making his final appearance on our show because he's now too big for us, Dax Holt. Good morning, buddy.
Good morning, Jason. How are you?
It was, now, we're joking, but we're not joking. People, and I think I take this as a compliment, people feel totally free to come up to me at Targets and whatever and say various things to me. I have gotten, and this is no joke, I have gotten 2 to 3 people that have either emailed me or have come up to me at a grocery store to ask, does this mean Dax has outgrown you and he's too big for you now? So I'm just wondering,
No,
Dax.
not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
Well, let's talk about Shark Tank. Everyone watched it. I think we had giant ratings here in the Twin Cities because we all supported you. How did it feel to actually see it air and finally be able to tell everybody that Mark is your business partner?
That is a nice relief because we've had to keep it in for quite some time. So to finally like see it air and to realize that we didn't look like total morons on TV, because sometimes, you know, you get a little nervous about how it gets edited. That was all awesome. I think that, you know, we were just, it was a relief to be able to like freely talk about it with other people. And, you know, it was a fun experience. We had a very small viewing party because of COVID. You can't really do anything. So it was just immediate family. But our wives made us feel really special. They got balloons and they got, you know, made little like Shark Tank drinks. It was really cute. So we had a really fun time. Our kids loved it and just loved seeing their dads up on TV. That was pretty cool for them.
And Dax, say what you can. I obviously don't want to get you in trouble, but I think just as a viewer, I'm curious. I always wonder about what happens next. So Mark Cuban picks you. You guys go backstage. Is there like then? Do you get a call from a lawyer? Is there a big meeting? Like what can you? What is the next step? Like what happens after we see you on TV?
Well, then you start meeting with his team is basically what it comes down to. So, you know, all these sharks have teams behind them, and they're the ones that kind of start the ball rolling, and you get into the next phases, which is, okay, now that we've done like a handshake essentially on TV, now you've got to go through the steps of actually, you know, integrating the company and making him a part of it, and how you're going to end up distributing the money. So all of the financial and business side of it then goes into play. So that's what happens when the cameras go off.
Fun.
And you know what? Honestly, there's a lot of deals that don't actually happen after airing too. Like you see people get a deal on the show, and then, you know, through due diligence, it falls apart. And there's a lot of stories out there about those Shark Tank companies that didn't actually come to be.
Well, it goes without saying we're incredibly happy and proud for you. Let's talk about the
Thank
podcast. You talked to former NBC News correspondent Chris Hansen.
Yeah, he was fascinating. Like, he's had such an interesting life. But the one story that the media has picked up the most from the podcast is the fact that he says his biggest career mistake was not breaking the Jeffrey Epstein story. He said that he was actually all over Jeffrey, that he was doing like sting operations, that they had been following him for some time. And he said that, you know, I tried what I could to break that story, but it didn't happen. And it's kind of haunted him to this day because that was obviously such a big story, but there were so many lives affected by it, that he wanted to be the person to like out him so that he couldn't hurt anyone for the rest of time. So he was just like, man, like, you know, I've done so much good. I've brought a lot of men to justice, you know, but he said that is the one that kind of slipped through my fingers. Because
I should have said this at the beginning. To Catch a Predator, people are watching going, he looks very familiar. That's the To Catch a Predator guy. You also talked to a good friend of our show, Mr. Ross Matthews. A lot of changes in Ross's. I'm sure it was interesting because a lot of changes in his life the past 12 months. His mother passed away. He moved. He seems to be on Drew Barrymore all the time. Yeah. What was some of your takeaways?
I can tell you he is so happy right now. He lost a bunch of weight during the pandemic, during quarantine, and I just felt like this renewed confidence through Ross Matthews. You know, I don't know, the whole time I just had a big smile on my face talking to him. But he, you know, he's like, look, I wanted to change my life. I wanted to get healthier. You know, we asked him about Sled Fit Club because you remember he famously did that show, and he was just like, it was so miserable. I would never do that show again. He was like, it sucks to have to lose weight on television, and it sucks to have to, like, you know, basically show off your body to the world. He's like, it was a very vulnerable show. But other than that, like, he's having a lot of fun with Drew Barrymore. He loves her to death. I mean, I think what a big show to be a part of right now. But we kind of walked through his career path, and he was just one of those people that he came in as an intern, obviously, to the Jay Leno show, but he was not willing to just settle as like an intern. He wanted more. He started giving his creative opinion and worked himself onto television, then worked himself into a producer creative role. And he's like, it's for those people that work really hard are going to make it far in this industry. You can't just sit back and expect it to come to you.
Absolutely. And you're a good example of that. Congratulations, by the way. I see TMZ. I wondered if they were going to link the story, and they did. A nice shout out from your former employer there.
That was fun going on TMZ, and they were very kind about the whole thing, very excited for me. I do have to say, Jason, we have a huge guest coming on, probably the biggest guest we've ever had come on the podcast next week. I'm afraid to say the name because we're supposed to tape this afternoon, and you know how this goes, where it's like, you think you have the guest, but if they bail at the last second,
then
you don't want to promote it.
Okay, then just give us a hint. Give us a hint.
He's huge. I mean, he is next level, like A-list star. He's a big deal. So I will probably be able to tell you more next week. Well, I will, because it'll be released by next week. But I am so excited right now.
Patrick Duffy.
No.
I'm kidding, Dax. I'm kidding. Wilford Brimley. No.
I'm telling you, you're going to be pretty impressed. This is someone that rarely does like podcasts and stuff, and we somehow locked him down. It's quite amazing.
Well, good luck. I'll be looking at the social feeds, and we'll talk to you next week. Thank you, buddy.
Thanks, bud.
The
Bye.
Hollywood Raw podcast, wherever you get your podcast, always support Dax.
All
Who
right,
could it
cool.
be?
Yeah,
I
Tony
don't
Raw.
know. Oh. Did he just say?
Who did he just? I think it got over. Tony, what? What did he say?
I don't know. Cody something?
Ted. The
Ted?
audio was still going. Who was it?
Come on, Ted.
The audience can TiVo. If you're TiVoing this, rewind back and see what Dax said. Tony
wait.
Ross? Jeffrey Ross, the painter? Who did he say? Is he dead?
Oh,
R.I.P. But who?
I don't know.
Ted in the control room. Who is it?
Tony.
The mic was still on, Ted. Just tell me. No one's watching.
No one's watching.
Go ahead. Tell me in my ear.
Yeah.
Ted, Minnesota. Tony. Okay, Ted is being. This is our show, Ted. Ted is only telling me Tony.
Tony Romo? Do you know who
Is
that
it Tony Romo?
Is it Tony Romo?
That's the rib guy, right?
The rib guy? No.
Oh, Tony Roma. That's a restaurant. Romo.
Romo, football player. Used to date Jessica Simpson.
Oh,
now
okay.
he works for CBS Sports.
Is that who he said? I think that's who he said. Okay.
That would be huge, though.
Yeah, because I guess he doesn't do a lot of interviews. I don't know. Next on the dish, Rebel Wilson. Rebel Wilson is coming back to Primetime Network TV. The Pitch Perfect actress made the announcement on her Instagram yesterday. Look at this.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Rebel, and I've got some exciting news to share with you. It's about my new show coming to ABC called Pooch Perfect. This is a competitive dog grooming reality show like nothing else, okay? It's gonna be awesome. Can't wait to get on set and film, and I can't wait for you guys to see this amazing and super cute show.
Yep, you heard it right. Among the judges will be former Real Housewife Lisa Vanderpump. What is she doing? Pooch Perfect will debut later this year. This, I want her back on Beverly Hills. That's why I'm a little saucy
You're
with
being
her.
so shady right now.
I'm being really,
can't even
because
see
I want
it.
Lisa back on, I want LVP back on Housewives. Anyway, but I like her. This is near and dear to my heart because I've said this before, my mom, the Dar, she was a professional dog groomer for most of my growing up.
Mm-hmm.
She was the best. Like, my mom was an excellent dog groomer.
I'm so curious about that job specifically, like, 'cause you never know what the dog is going to be like.
Yeah.
Like, how much does that play into this show? How much did that, and oh my gosh, can your mom be our special correspondent?
Yeah, she'll call in and judge
Yeah.
the judges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the old phone that we have back there.
Yeah, my mom was great though. I mean, she was so detailed. Those poodles came out looking good, girl.
Good girl.
Yeah, she would sometimes give me a haircut like a poodle.
Okay. What?
What? Nothing. I'm just kidding.
Oh, I have a question for you.
Well,
that you
sadly,
might
we
know.
have to go to break, but no, go ahead quickly.
I just want to know, do they really cut them the way that they do because of that was an old way to like protect their joints?
Oh, you mean like poodles like in Best in
Yeah,
Show?
yeah.
I think so. I don't know. I'll ask Star.
Okay, thanks.
Still ahead. We're giving your closet a fresh start with Lindsay from the blog The Fashion Fix. But next, she ditched her condo for the tiny home lifestyle and now lives with her significant other and a dog in an RV. The tiny home life when we come back. Back in a moment. We're so glad you're here. Thank you for choosing us this morning. Well, we could all use a little less clutter in our lives, right, my friends? But our next guest took that concept to the extreme and lives the tiny house life in a 180-foot square foot RV. Please welcome productivity and organizing coach from Life Done Simply, Amy Olson. Good morning, Amy.
Good morning.
Okay, question number one, why in the world would you do this?
Well, the most common answer for those of us who have this lifestyle is freedom. But that really hits to the core for me. I was in a job that I was really unhappy in, and I realized that I was staying in that career to maintain a lifestyle that I wasn't content with, right? So in that downsizing, in that right sizing my life and that evaluating, both me and my partner looked at each other and we thought, well, we want to travel more, but we don't want to be stuck to a job where we have to make more and more money. What is there out there for us? And right away we thought, well, the good old Winnebago life.
Okay, so on paper, I can see it, but putting it into action, so what is the first thing, Amy, that you had to do to downsize? I mean, was it as simple as you go through the house you're presently in and deciding take leave? Is that what you had to do?
No. And actually for us, so we started in about 1,400 square feet. And over the course of 3 years, we downsized to a 500 square foot apartment. So it was a 3-year process before we got into the RV. But for us, I mean, going through things, it takes a lot of time. People generally don't give that enough credit. They think I'll just be able to make all the decisions at once and it'll be fine. But it's very emotionally taxing. And so for us, we first had to decide what RV life looked like for us and what size we were going to go with, what type of traveling we wanted to do. And then we could determine what things came along with us.
Okay, we're looking at the RV right now. Tell me this, Amy, what was it about this structure, this layout? What worked for you? What sold this particular RV to you?
One was just the ability to camp off grid as much as possible, all 4 seasons of the year. So the RV that we have has been manufactured to be an all season RV. But for us, we really wanted to go as tiny as we possibly could with us and the dog. And this was just the layout that worked out the best. So there's still plenty of space for both of us to stretch out. We work in different areas of the RV. In instances like this, where I'm, with you, my partner's outside working. So it's kind of the best of both worlds, right? We have an office, we have a home, but when we're done working, we can open up the doors and the world is kind of ours.
Okay, Amy, obviously your partner is not here, not listening. So let's just talk, just be real here. Even in the best, you know where I'm going with this, even in the best of relationships, even in a normal, and I don't like that word, but even in a normal size house, there are days when you gently want to put a pillow over their head. So when you're in a very tiny space now, has there been some stressful moments because of the constriction of space, and how do you work through that?
Oh, sure. You notice little quirks. I think he would say the same thing about me. The one thing I tell everyone about RV life and tiny home living in general is everything rises to the surface quicker, right? You can't retreat to a corner of the house and just give someone the silent treatment. Everything, including clutter, is right there at the surface, right? So I actually think it's probably helped our relationship. There's maybe been some brutal, honest moments, but
I was gonna say, Amy, I do not mean to interrupt you, but I just had a little light bulb moment. I think what this would do is, instead of like beating around the bush and kind of not dealing with things, this almost forces you as a unit to not, there is no time or space for BS. Am I right on that?
Correct. Clutter of any kind. And so I always say clutter is not just physical stuff, right? It's emotional, it's mental, it's expectations. Everything is at the forefront of our mind in this space. And we're really comfortable with that. There's a nice balance I feel like we've struck. And when I say freedom, it can sound very cliche, but we do feel a true sense of freedom.
Stuff can weigh you down. I get what you mean. I don't think it's cliche at all. Stuff can weigh you down, right, Amy?
Correct.
Yeah. 15 states, 12,000 miles. Give me a favorite. I know it's like picking kids, and it's kind of a lame question, but you've traveled to more states than probably a lot of us watching. What's one of your favorites that leaps to your mind?
Arizona is a stunning state. There are so many different things to see. The land varies so much from the southern border all the way to the Grand Canyon. But our favorite is Sedona, and we're heading there in February again. It is a magical place, absolutely gorgeous, and we love to hike. And there are hundreds of hiking trails right outside of the city.
Amy, I have thoroughly enjoyed this conversation. I mean it. Please come back and join us anytime, please.
Will do. Thank you.
Thank you. For more information, head to Amy's website, lifedonesimply.com. No. I love her, but no. Kendall, you and I should live in an RV. We should just... No. Oh, wow. Kendall said no without hesitation. She didn't even pause.
No, girl.
It was a joke. And wow, denied. Still ahead, we're opening up the Jason Show mailbag when the Jason Show continues right after this. Hey, Kendall, want to live in an RV with me? No. You want to go? Oh.
Let's make it a good day. We do it our own way. Let's make it a good day.
Welcome back, everyone. One more alarm clock till the weekend. Thursday. Woo! It is time once again to respond to your comments and answer some of your questions. Roll it, Steve. We're answering the Jason Show mailbag. Here we go.
You've got mail.
Thank you. We do. First up, I heard from several of you yesterday.
Sorry.
I heard from several of you yesterday after Kendall and I shared our favorite smells at the end of the show. And I said, impromptu, I always say you work without a net and sometimes you fall. I said that mine is cucumber mint from Aveda. Well, Julie messaged me and said, today on the show, you recommended Aveda's cucumber mint. I internet searched it because I like crazy because I thought they had a new scent, but it's rosemary mint, which they've always had. Now, I know, I heard from, this is how I know I either irritate the people or I've made people angry, hashtag 1 week ago today. I will get a flood of comments or flood of emails. Yesterday was that day. I had people from Aveda texting me. I had people from Aveda. I'm not kidding. I have 2 people in my life that worked for Aveda. It is rosemary mint. Ted, I should have asked for a big rosemary mint graphic.
Oh, the classic shampoo.
It's that smell. It's not cucumber mint. I was thinking of a cleaning product from another store that I love that was cucumber mint from Restoration Hardware.
Oh.
This is rosemary mint from Aveda. So to the good people of Aveda and our country, I apologize. God bless you.
Thank you.
Next up, people loved our staff show and tell segments from Friday. In case you missed it, my show and tell was my Disney Store training manual. It featured a lot of the trivia and Disney knowledge that I had to learn in order to work at the Disney Store. Now, of course, as I've told you many times, my time ended there when I was fired for not being, quote, perky enough. Well, listen to the message we got after that show aired. Larkin, love that name, says, I was the district manager for Disney and opened hundreds of Disney stores and shopping malls across the world. I developed that training manual in partnership with our training department to bring the Disney experience to people who may never get to California or Florida. I think the store manager was confused as to why you were fired. I believe she may have been intimidated by you because you are a very fun, perky cast member that took your job very seriously learning all that trivia. ... I irritated her. I was a little brown noser. I was teacher's pet. I did. I loved my job. I took it. I learned that whole manual that she wrote.
Well, that's really cool that the person who wrote it messaged you about it. I think that's, and you can
She
even
lives here.
Just in like the messaging material, the way that she even wrote that, it's like, you're a good writer, messenger, aren't you?
She's, yeah. I still, the book's back there. I took it very seriously.
I believe you, and we laugh about it now, but like, it just breaks my heart a little for younger
For
you.
For little sad Jason, for 1994 Jason.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was devastated.
Yeah.
Taking off my little cardigan, I cried. My little powder blue cardigan and my M. Why are you laughing, Jeff? It was devastating. It was very
devastating. devastating.
It was very, very hard for like a day. You can stay connected with our show on social media. Check us out on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Just search for Jason Show TV. The show never stops there. Still ahead, we're giving your closet a fresh start to 2021. Lindsay from The Fashion Fix will give you some tips on where to begin when we come back. She hated me. Welcome back. Oh, yeah, Thursday. Just relaxed. If you're like most people, your closet is full of clothes you wear, and some you just ignore and you have since, I don't know, President Clinton was in office. Whether they don't fit or hold some nostalgia, like that Madonna t-shirt, that concert t-shirt from the 90s. Gee, wonder who that's about. As we start a new year, how about giving your closet a fresh start? Kendall chatted with Lindsay from Fashion Fix about building a wardrobe for 2021.
Hi, Lindsay. Happy New Year.
Hi, Kendall. I'm so happy to see you. Are you like just starting off 2021 on a bang or what, girl?
Absolutely, which is why this is so important, this segment to me, because I try to do like a cleanse every 2021. So today you were like, hey, new year, new closet. You've got 3 steps to help us with. Thank God.
Yes, 3 easy steps to build a wardrobe that is going to deliver comfort and confidence every time you get dressed in 2021, right? Like you want to start the year off on the right foot. You want to feel like your best self to live your best life. We're going to talk about how you can do that right now.
I love it. Okay, number 1, edit.
Edit. Yeah, before you can do anything in building your best wardrobe, you got to edit and audit what you have, and you got to get rid of the things that just aren't working anymore. Because if you're standing in front of a closet full of clothes, but you feel like you have nothing to wear, it's because you have the wrong things to wear. So let's get them out of there. Number 1, get rid of things that don't fit. And remember, ladies, this is about fit, not size. So I don't want you to be looking at the label. I just want you to be trying things on, and are they actually comfortable to wear on your shape? Number 2, get rid of things that you don't wear anymore. If you're not wearing suits to work, or if you're not like dressing up business casual every day anymore, let's put that stuff in storage or just get it out of your closet. And 3rd, get rid of things that don't work, things that are damaged beyond repair, or maybe your zipper's broken, a button's missing and you can't replace it. Get that stuff out of there.
And you brought up a really good point right before this, that I have a hard time with figuring out what I do want to get rid of, but you have a little tip. Categorizing?
Yeah, categorizing. So if you're looking at your closet and you feel like, oh my gosh, editing all of this stuff seems so overwhelming, I don't even know where to start, break it down by category. So you can do each 3 of these things in each category. Start with all of your knits, then move on to blouses, then go on to cardigans and layers, then do your bottoms. You don't have to do it all at once. You can break it down into smaller pieces to tackle.
Okay, so we've edited. Now it's time to shop.
Now it's time to shop. So you got rid of all the things that aren't working anymore for you, and now you want to add some new life into your closet. So does anything need to be replaced? Are there some things that you got rid of in that editing step that maybe you want to freshen up with something new? Are you missing any of the essentials? I'm going to tell you, every woman should have in her closet a good pair of jeans, some comfortable basic knit t-shirts, and some really cozy layers. So start there, get your essentials covered. And are there any holes missing in your wardrobe to fit your current needs? So if you are still working at home, do you have that nice loungewear to wear at home where you feel casual but yet still dressed for the day? What pieces do you need to make sure that you can be well dressed for your lifestyle?
Okay, the staples, that's a big one, I think, for a lot of women. We're like, what are the things that I need? Can you say those again?
Okay, so every woman needs a pair of good jeans, some nice casual knit t-shirts, and comfortable layers. So let me tell you, ladies, even if you aren't leaving the house much, you're gonna find a time when you do need to go out that door. And if you don't have a pair of pants that fit, you're gonna feel really sad that day. So get a good pair of jeans no matter what.
Okay, so now style.
So with style, now we're talking about wearing things that authentically represent who you are on the inside, on the outside. Are there things in your closet that really match your personal style? And the 2 things that I really want women to pay attention to is make sure that their closet is stocked with colors that complement them. So are you wearing your best colors? That's really important, because when you're wearing your best colors, that's when you're going to feel the most confident in the pieces that you have on. And does everything in your closet actually and authentically reflect your personal style? You know, there may be something that was really trendy or really in that you saw an influence on Instagram wearing, so you wanted to try it. But once you put it on, you kind of realize, this just doesn't feel right. This just doesn't really fit my look. Let's make sure that stuff isn't in your closet, and the stuff that really does work for your personal look is what is hanging in there for you.
I really like that. I have a problem with that. I have what I call my go-to pieces that I just need to get more of and get less of the
Yes. That is such a good tip too. I mean, look at that. If you have a lot of go-to pieces in your closet, take a look at what the colors are. Take a look at what the fits are of those go-to pieces. Take a look at the details of those go-to pieces, because that's you. That's your look. That's your style. So just replicate more of that in your closet.
Okay, so I know that this is a little left field, only because there's not a lot of time. If someone has nowhere to start when they're like, I don't know what my colors are, do you have a tip or two for like figuring that out?
Yes, here's my DIY method for finding out what your best colors are. If you put on a top and you feel like, you know what, by lunchtime, you feel really kind of worn out and you feel just kind of flushed, or like there's no color left to your face, so you're reapplying your bronzer, you're putting on more eyeshadow, putting on more mascara, most likely that's a color that's not really great for you, because you feel like you're having to amp up your makeup to make it work. If there's a top that you put on and you just feel like all day long your makeup looks fresh, you look kind of bright, that's a color that is most likely complementing your natural complexion the best. So that's a color that's really going to be in your wheelhouse.
Thank you very much. Some good suggestions for the new year. Always feels good to purge, purge some stuff.
And I think what people have a hard time with, that we talked about in the beginning, is just you can do it in sections. It doesn't have to be all at once. And she said it too, and I do this. I go seasonally. I just go through everything. I put half of it away in storage so I have more room. And then the stuff that I don't wear, I'm like, okay, gotta
Bye.
go. Yeah.
To learn more about Fashion Fix, check out Lindsay's website, fashionfixmn.com. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for being here. You can stay connected with us via YouTube if you miss any of the shows. It's easy. Just search for Jason Show TV, hit that subscribe button, and we will alert you with the bell when we upload new episodes. And we upload those, we try to, every single day. You can see the full archive right there. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with our bubblegum goodbye and more right after this. Let me go get that bubblegum right now. Welcome back, everyone. Wrapping up our Thursday extravaganza. It is time for the bubblegum goodbye. We don't know what question is in this bubblegum container. Really a vending machine container. You ready?
Really? Yeah. Okay.
What was your best and worst subject in school?
My best was probably math or reading for like very basic subjects.
Okay.
My worst was probably science.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously I was really good at choir, and I got a B in gym once, and it was a joke.
Yeah. You got
How did I get a B in gym?
I know.
I wasn't trying hard enough. That's what they said. I didn't want to sweat in second period. Sorry.
Yeah. I got a complete in PE. I escaped.
Just to complete?
Like, yeah, I didn't even get a grade. I got like a thing that says he kind of was there.
Oh, well,
But
that's
yeah.
good.
So
What was
worst
yours?
subject is the opposite of you, math. I hated all versions of math. I was horrible at it. My math teachers hated me. I hated them. Mrs. Rose was the worst.
Sure.
I don't care. She's in Michigan City, Indiana. She was old back then. So, but yeah, she was near retirement. I love teachers. Y'all know that.
Yeah.
Mrs. Rose.
She did not
girl.
care.
She didn't like me. There was no love. My best was probably history, but I wish I would have paid it more attention. It's one of those regrets in life. Like if
Yeah.
I could go back and redo any class, it would be history.
Yeah, they're a lot more interesting the older you get.
Yes. I have just a curiosity I didn't have back then. But yeah, and then the other worst was PE.
Ooh,
No.
child.
I would always go in and tell Mr. Lemon that I was needed in yearbook. Oh, yearbook needs me. And he didn't even, he stopped caring.
Were you even in your book?
Oh, yeah.
sorry. Okay.
Yeah. Excuse me. I was one of the editors. Thank you very much.
Wow. Sorry.
And I put in all of my friends and got rid of all the popular people. Oh, you're the cheerleader that's mad at me or mean to me? Yep, you shan't be in that picture. Oh, look at you. You're the jock that beat me up. You're out of the yearbook. Tomorrow on the show, the Cooking Mom is back with the recipe for your at-home dates. That and more tomorrow. Right now, if you're a kid that's being bullied, you go out there and be yourself because nobody can tell you you're doing it wrong. We'll see you back here tomorrow, everybody. Thanks for watching.